your forewarned weather.
Well, you know, if you're a forecaster, it's a lot of fun right now because there's lots of stuff going on.
You get something every single day, Seth, don't ya?
Yeah, it's a smorgasbord. We got wind, we got changing temperatures, we got cold, we got the storms. There's a whole lot to talk about. But first, let's talk about that wind. What you're looking at behind me is Monument Valley in the Four Corners region. Look how much dust has been kicked aloft from that wind. This is one of the areas that is in a wind advisory until 9 o'clock tonight. And that includes places like the Uinta Basin, Castle Country, all the way down to south central Utah in the Four Corners region. We're looking at winds of 20 to 35 miles an hour out of the southwest and gusts up to 55 miles an hour. You're going to want to make sure that you secure any loose objects because we see garbage cans and trampolines and whatever else go flying all the time. We don't want any of that. Those winds are going to die down right around 9 o'clock when that expires, and overnight we do have just a light breeze, but we get a little bit more energy with the daytime heating, and so that breeze does pick back up, but nothing like what we saw today in the east or yesterday here in Salt Lake. Just a little bit of a breeze, nothing too bad. Radar shows that we do have active skies in western Utah. We're going to punch this in a little bit. We could take a closer look at the northern Wasatch Front from the Ogden Valley up to Cache Valley, looking at a couple of light showers. Utah Valley and the southern Salt Lake Valley also looking at a couple showers. And then we have some moving in from the West Desert, tracking east-northeast. That could impact us overnight as well. But the southern portion of the state has a little bit of a better chance of seeing wet weather overnight. We're starting to see those showers really bubble up for Beaver, Iron, and Washington counties, especially in the higher terrain, but the valleys are also tapping in to that thunderstorm activity. We could see some towards St. George here fairly soon as well. As we take a live look down in lower Washington County, you notice gloomy skies. We do have that rain that you're seeing there in the horizon. A lot of gray clouds, a lot of heavy wet weather down there in the south, and it is going to hold on into tonight. Temperatures are in the 50s across the state for the most part, 70s and 80s on the eastern side of the state. That's that warm southerly flow, that warm before the storm that we saw yesterday. The east is now looking at, we're at 51 degrees here in Salt Lake, and we got some 40s as well in places like Rock Springs and parts of Nevada. Those temperatures do drop overnight, but the wet weather potential does not. The wet weather potential stays high. Temperatures eventually reaching the 40s, 47 degrees by ABC4 News at 10 with a mix of sun and clouds and a little bit of showers. Our precipitation potential today, you're going to notice, really hugs the western side of the state, areas north of Cedar City, but we could see some as far south as St. George. As we get into tomorrow, that wet weather potential shifts a little further east and a little more north, impacting the central portion of the state, and especially up here in northern Utah. That's where we have the best chance for that wet weather thanks to wraparound moisture. You're going to see that here on our Futurecast. There's that cold front's going to continue to advance through the state. ABC4 News at 10, we're looking at a couple showers down in southern Utah. Up here in the north, a couple of showers could still be holding on towards Cache Valley in the West Desert, as well as towards the eastern Uintas, but nothing too impactful. Starts to clear on out overnight in the north, unsettled in south central Utah in the early morning hours, but there's that wraparound moisture coming to bring a round two. We get some seconds. Thunderstorms by lunchtime tomorrow in the northern and eastern parts of the state, holding on into the evening hours, and then Thursday starts to taper on off, but heating is going to tap into some lingering moisture, which could bring a couple more showers for your Thursday before clearing on out. And it revs up again. Thursday, Friday, that wet weather potential dies down, but then on Saturday into Sunday becomes scattered again. So our upper level Futurecast shows those stormy skies holding on into tomorrow as the system starts to exit the state, possibly even into Thursday for a lot of us, especially on the eastern portion of the state. Starts to die down Thursday evening into Friday as high pressure builds, but that high pressure ridge doesn't last because we have another low pressure system that's going to be coming in from the northwest, bringing that northwest moisture across the Great Basin region and into the Beehive State Saturday night into Sunday, holding all the way into Monday and maybe even into Tuesday before that high pressure comes back in, bringing a little bit calmer conditions and warmer weather. Regional forecast shows tomorrow we're going to be in the 50s up here in the north, mid to upper 50s, while the south stays in the 60s, 76 degrees for St. George tomorrow with dry skies, but a mix of sun and clouds. Eventually, the 80s come back in St. George with mostly sunny skies on Thursday. Mostly cloudy for your Friday, but still fairly warm. Saturday stays warm, but then it drops by 14 degrees between Saturday and Sunday with isolated thunderstorms on Sunday and a slight chance into Tuesday. The Wasatch Front has scattered thunderstorms for tomorrow, becoming a little more isolated on your Thursday. We have a chance of some wet weather on Friday, but by Saturday evening, that wet weather potential really revs back up with isolated showers, scattered thunderstorms for your Sunday Sunday. And yeah, it stays unsettled all the way into Tuesday with temperatures on the cooler side.
How fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
very fun. We
He's
love
always
spring
looking
anytime.
at the bright side of
Trying
things.
to.
It's good.